Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining me on Life in Surround. Today, at long last, it's time to talk about The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, the 1974 Genesis album, which was the last to be done by what many consider to be the most ultra classic lineup of the group, having Steve Hackett and Peter Gabriel still in the group. So Genesis are a five-piece at this point, and they decide to make an ambitious double album replete with psychological and philosophical ponderings by Peter Gabriel. The gatefold of the LP boasts a story that is, in my opinion, a bit hard to read and to track through and to understand the clear intent. And all I have to say further is that Pete might have been on some really good shit. Okay, so read it if you like. I think it is interesting to say the least. I'm not sure exactly how much it will enhance your enjoyment. So before we get too much further down the road of talking about The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway and some other points about Genesis in Surround, I want to just give a big thank you to friend of Life in Surround. Let's call him SG. He donated this US copy of Selling England by the Pound, 2-disc set. So there's a CD and a DVD video included. So I have messaged the would-be winner based on comments from the review video that I did of Selling England. And they have 3 days to get back to me. And then I'll commence going down the list to, prospect number 2 and prospect number 3. Good luck. And whether or not you get this copy, I hope you do track down Selling England by the Pound in 5.1. It is truly a very cool experience. Okay. So again, SG, thank you for your generosity, and I'm passing it on. And thank you to everyone who entered the contest and otherwise commented on the Selling England video, liked it. To all of you who have subscribed and rung the notification bell, your support means so much. That tells YouTube to get my videos out to more viewers. And the purpose of this channel is to just share the joy of multi-channel music with as many people as possible. And I love interacting with all of you. And then also to just promote this industry and this hobby, which has so greatly enriched so many lives. So I want to see multi-channel music thrive, and this is a very exciting time. It's actually kind of hard to keep up with all of the quality multi-channel that's coming out right now, and that's a good problem to have, and I want to keep it that way. So thank you for your support. Thank you for participating in this giveaway. Thank you, SG, for your generosity and for thinking of this giveaway. And with that, let's just continue on, okay? All right, so I've done reviews of Genesis and Surround from Trespass to The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway as of today. So The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway can be obtained on its own in 3-disc format. So you're either going to get SACDs and a DVD or CDs and a DVD, depending on whether you get the European or the US version. All right, so I happened to have gotten an excellent deal on this here green box, which is Genesis 1970 through 1975, the studio recordings. So let's open it up and you'll see that you get Trespass, Nursery Crime, Foxtrot, Selling England, Lamb would go in the next slot. And then this set of bonus tracks would go in that final slot. So there's a CD and a DVD in here. The DVD is really cool. It has, in my opinion, probably the best interview that just focuses on surround multi-channel mixing out of all of the 2007 reissue series interviews. I'm actually thinking about ripping it from the DVD and upping it to the channel, even though that might cause me some copyright trouble. It is, in my opinion, such a good interview. I just really want you all to see it. So I'll probably do that. Then it also has a VH1 special, which is sort of a retrospective from the beginning of Genesis through to the period where they all gathered together to make the Archives box set. And that is actually a really good viewing. I might rip it and try to up it as well. In my opinion, they are both really excellent videos, and I found them very enjoyable and informative. You get footage with Ant Phillips and with other original members of Genesis as well. Very, very cool stuff. You also get bonus tracks. You get some early demos, which are quite fascinating to listen to. Those, even though they are in 5.1, it's really just sounds like synthesized 5.1 to me. But there are 2 tracks on here. One I think was recorded during the Foxtrot session or Nursery Crime, and then the other one was recorded during the Selling England session. So they actually sound pretty darn good, even though the songs were written very early in the band's career, like 69, 70. They recorded them during these later sessions. And so the sound is there, and there were enough layers that I think Nick Davis had enough to work with that the first 2 5.1 tracks from the DVD of this set actually are pretty good surround experience. All right, so Genesis, in coordination with Rhino Records, put out 5 box sets of this size. The ones that you're not seeing, there's more of a light gray one, mostly white, and then there's a red one and a blue one. Okay, why do I only have these 2? The mostly white one, I believe, is concert videos, and I simply have the Genesis concert videos like individually that I already truly care about. Then the red and blue boxes are the later studio albums, and not only were those done before the green box in terms of, actually producing them, and the green box benefits from the gained experience and skill on the part of Nick Davis and the band in making their remixing choices. You'll see, if I'm able to up that interview, that Peter Gabriel actually pushed everyone to do more with the surround mixes. He felt that you should not mix for people with dinky satellite surround speakers, but for those people with the serious full range systems, take full advantage of the full surround field. So thanks, Pete. That was an excellent, excellent opinion. And I'm hoping for good things from your forthcoming album, I.O., or whatever it's called. All right, so I chose to go for the green box because I basically love every album on it. Strongly admire, seriously like, or love. Let's not exaggerate. Okay, and then my favorites from this set would be Selling England by the Pound, Trespass, Foxtrot, and Lamb. Though every single disc on here, in my opinion, is well worth your attention. Even the bonus disc. All right, and then for the later eras of the band, I've chosen to just cherry pick the albums that I care about the most for that SACD DVD version. And then I have the rest in like the US ordinary CD DVD version. Just a budgetary choice. And then, given that the albums from the green box do receive like the best reviews overall for sonic quality, I just felt like the green box was well worth my investment. Now, fortunately, in one sense, this copy of The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway that came in my green box has some significantly scratched up SACDs. And so the seller was willing to come way, way, way down in price because of my concern that the SACDs might not always play back very well. And so I ended up getting this green box for not much more than you'll actually find Lamb on its own, listed out there in the wild, like on Discogs and eBay and so forth. So I feel very, very blessed to have a copy of the European green box with the Super Audio CDs. If you go back and look at my reviews for Trespass through Selling England, you'll see that I generally favor the sound of the Super Audio CDs over the DTS or Dolby Digital 5.1 from the DVDs. Now, that's not to say if the CD DVD version of any of these albums is your best option, just go for it. I mean, life is short, go for it. They may not be quite as crankable as an alternative, but you know what? They're going to be plenty enjoyable. You can listen in stereo if you really feel you must. Try out the 5.1, see what you like about it, see what you don't. But it is, in my opinion, a great experience. I'm so glad that Rhino simply made the call to mix the entire Genesis catalog in 5.1. I wish they had done a better job on certain mixes. And maybe Genesis will be influenced at a certain point to push forward and have some of their, and maybe, just maybe, Genesis will be influenced at some point to push forward and have some of their material mixed into Atmos, maybe with the same engineer, maybe try out someone new. So at this point, as far as I know, Genesis has all legacy products. Everything I'm talking about today is all like used out of print products. So it would be nice to see Genesis, at least for select albums, get, a modern, current sonic upgrade. My vote would be Atmos. That would be just awesome. All right, and then I thought it would be a cool idea to give you a little bit of a bonus since we're talking about Genesis in surround. If you have never heard of this here DVD set, you really need to pick it up. It's called Genesis, the Video Show. It has their promo videos all mixed into 5.1, and I am a big, big, big fan of this disc. I'm actually glad that this video kind of reminded me of it because now I'm itching to actually go and put it on pretty soon. These are the same 5.1 mixes that you're going to find in the green, the red, and the blue box sets, I believe. If there are any minor differences, I apologize, so don't quote me on that unless I'm right, but that is my recollection. And in general, they are fine mixes, especially when watching the promo videos. I feel like it takes a tiny bit of scrutiny off of analyzing what's exactly coming out of every single one of the, channels in a 5.1 mix. This is a very, very, very enjoyable video collection. I don't know if you can make out very well which songs are on there, but you can also just go and check it out at your favorite, used music source like Amazon or eBay or just whatever. I'm sure it's fairly findable. Hopefully it's not super duper expensive. It sure wasn't when I picked it up. And you get a very, very, very wide representation of the group's material. These promo videos, usually the hits from the various albums with their 5.1 mixes, and then you get like the Carpet Crawlers is actually the 90s, the 1990s re-recording that the band did, and I sure like that a whole heck of a lot. So this is a very, very, very cool 5.1 video set. I intend to do a video one of these days about promo video collections with true 5.1 mixes. I just heard Triumph's greatest hits. All right, so final thoughts on Genesis, The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, the 2 CD, 1 DVD set. If you have become interested in it, I wish you all the best in tracking down a good copy that makes you happy for a price that you find reasonable. One really cool bonus of watching the DVD, the DTS or the Dolby Digital 5.1 version is that you get to see a slideshow, and it is a mixture of live footage of the band, but also the backdrop videos that the band actually used on the Lamb tour. So you get to watch those backdrop videos. And in my opinion, that nicely helps one to kind of take in the themes of the album, if not outright understand exactly what Peter's going for. I find this to be like fairly dense in terms of like just the metaphysical content that you're supposed to unpack. But you can then also follow along with the lyrics, say if you have the LP or on your phone or just elsewise. So the slideshow that you can watch during 5.1 playback from this DVD is really, really cool. There's also a 2007 reissue interview, which I have previously uploaded to this channel, so you can go check that out. So I do highly recommend tracking down The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, the 5.1 version, whether you can find it on SACD or DVD. I feel it is very, very much worth it. In my opinion, the SACD has a smoother sound, particularly in Peter's vocals, but I think you're going to find the album and the 5.1 experience to be enjoyable in either respect. Okay, so I appreciate you watching. I hope that many of you enjoy The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway as I do, in stereo or 5.1. Maybe someday it'll get an Atmos remix or maybe some other Genesis material. I would be game for just about whatever, or Mike and the Mechanics or any other kind of related Genesis content. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Rhino Records, for doing these box sets. They have enriched my life. They have drawn me deeper into the music of Genesis. I hope there's more to come for the future. And for those of you who do have some or all of these Genesis in 5.1 mixes in your possession, please leave comments about what you like, what you don't like. And for some that have a newfound interest in them, I wish you all the luck in tracking them down. Oh, some of you are going to be curious about this dark gray box, and I don't think I said much about it. It's the live audio recordings, and I do recommend picking it up, even though it only contains 5.1 mixes of live, seconds out, and then on the bonus disc, you get this Rainbow concert, which is from the Selling England by the Pound tour. And in my opinion, that bonus disc is the reason to get this dark gray set. Live is just okay. Seconds out is just okay. I think they had to make some unfortunate choices with those mixes, but the Rainbow show is really good, and I really, really like it. And I'll probably put it on soon now that this video has reminded me of how much I really enjoy it. All right, so I appreciate you watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the notification bell as I do my best to give pretty frequent, exciting news about multi-channel music. Leave comments, share these videos. I appreciate all of your support. Be good to each other, be good to yourselves, and live life in surround.